I should have known something was wrong the moment I woke up that morning. My hands wouldn't stop shaking as I buttoned my ceremonial shirt. White silk, traditional for an Omega on their mating day. The fabric felt too tight against my chest, like it was trying to suffocate me. But I told myself it was just nerves. Just excitement. After all, this was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Today, I would complete the mate bond with Marcus Stormwood. My fated mate. My best friend since childhood. The future alpha of the Silvermoon Pack. And mine. He was mine. The mate bond had snapped into place 6 months ago, sudden and overwhelming. I'd been walking past the training grounds when our eyes met, and suddenly the world tilted. Every cell in my body screamed mate, mate, mate. Marcus had felt it too. I saw it in the way his eyes widened, the way he stumbled backward like he'd been punched. Elias, he'd whispered, and my name on his lips sounded like a prayer. We were both 18. Old enough for the bond to manifest. Old enough to complete it. Except, Marcus had asked to wait. Let's do it properly, he'd said, cupping my face in his large hands. A real ceremony. I want everyone to see me claim you as mine. I'd been so happy I cried. Now, standing in front of the mirror in my childhood bedroom, I tried to smooth down my dark hair for the 100th time. It wouldn't cooperate. Nothing about me ever cooperated. I was small for a male Omega, barely 5'7", with a slender frame that looked fragile next to Marcus's 6'3" alpha build. My wolf was weak too. I could barely shift, and when I did, I was a scrawny thing that couldn't hunt or fight. But Marcus loved me anyway. He told me so. He told me my size didn't matter, that my wolf didn't matter, that I was perfect exactly as I was. I held on to those words like a lifeline as I walked down the stairs. My mother was waiting at the bottom. She looked beautiful in her formal dress, her hair swept up elegantly. But when she saw me, something flickered across her face. Something that looked almost like pity? Mom, I said softly. Is everything okay? She pressed her lips together, then forced a smile. You look lovely, sweetheart. Are you ready? I'm terrified, I admitted with a nervous laugh. What if I mess up the words? What if I trip walking down the aisle? What if? Elias. Her voice was sharp enough to cut through my rambling. She stepped closer, and for a moment, I thought she might hug me. Instead, she straightened my collar with brisk, efficient movements. Just remember that you're doing what's best for the family. For the pack. I frowned. What do you mean? I'm completing the mate bond. That's what you're supposed to do when you meet your fated mate. She didn't answer. She just patted my shoulder once and turned away. We should go. Everyone's waiting. The walk to the ceremonial hall felt like walking to my own execution. My father didn't speak to me in the car. My sister Sophia sat across from me, staring out the window. She'd been distant for months now, ever since my bond with Marcus formed. We used to be close, but something had changed between us. Sophia? I ventured. Are you okay? She finally looked at me, and I saw tears in her eyes. I'm sorry, Elias, she whispered. Sorry for what? But we'd arrived. The car door opened, and pack members were already cheering. I was swept up in the crowd, ushered into the hall, positioned at the entrance to the long ceremonial aisle. The hall was packed. Every member of the Silvermoon Pack was here. Over 300 wolves. Candles lined the aisle. Flowers hung from the ceiling. It was beautiful. Perfect. At the end of the aisle stood Marcus. My breath caught. He looked magnificent in his alpha ceremonial robes, black and silver, the colors of our pack. His blonde hair was styled back, his jaw sharp, his ice blue eyes fixed on something. Not me. He was looking at something behind me. I turned slightly and saw Sophia standing near the entrance, still in her coat. She met Marcus's eyes, and something passed between them. Something that made my stomach drop. No, I was imagining things. The ceremonial drums began. The pack elder gestured for me to walk. I took a deep breath and started down the aisle. Every step felt wrong. The mate bond in my chest was pulling me forward. Yes, go to him, but something else, some deeper instinct, was screaming at me to run. I kept walking. When I reached the altar, Marcus finally looked at me. His expression was blank. Cold. Nothing like the warmth I was used to seeing in his eyes. Marcus? I whispered, too quiet for anyone else to hear. What's wrong? He didn't answer. The pack elder began the ceremony. The ancient words washed over me. I barely heard them. All I could focus on was Marcus's face, the way he wouldn't quite meet my eyes, the tension in his jaw. Then came the moment. The vows. the words that would complete the bond forever. The elder turned to Marcus. Do you, Marcus Stormwood, future alpha of Silvermoon Pack, accept this Omega as your fated mate? Do you vow to protect, cherish, and bond with him for all your days? This was it. Marcus would say yes. We'd complete the bond. Everything would be fine. Marcus opened his mouth. No. The word echoed through the silent hall. For a moment, I thought I'd misheard. That couldn't have been what he said. It wasn't possible. But then Marcus spoke again, louder this time, his voice carrying to every corner of the hall. I, Alpha Marcus Stormwood, reject you, Elias Carter, as my fated mate. The bond didn't break gently. It didn't fade away. It shattered. I felt it like a physical thing, something vital inside my chest exploding into 1,000 pieces. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. The pain was so intense that my vision went white. I heard someone screaming, and distantly realized it was me. I collapsed. My knees hit the hard floor, but I didn't feel it. All I felt was the agony of the bond tearing apart, severing, dying. Through the pain, I heard Marcus's voice, detached and clinical. Sophia is stronger. She'll make a better Luna. You were always too weak, Elias. I can't have a weak Omega at my side when I become Alpha. The pack deserves better. Hands reached for mine. I looked up through tears and saw Sophia. My sister. She was crying too, but she was holding Marcus's hand. I'm sorry, she whispered again. I love him. I've always loved him. And he loves me. The pack was murmuring now. Some laughing. Some looking away uncomfortably. But no one was defending me. No one was telling Marcus to stop. The pack beta's voice cut through the noise. An Omega who can't even shift properly has no place beside an Alpha. Marcus is making the right choice for the pack's future. My parents. Where were my parents? I searched the crowd desperately and found them standing off to the side. My mother had her hand over her mouth. My father's face was stone. They knew. They knew this was going to happen. Mom. My voice came out broken, pleading. Dad. My father looked away. Something inside me broke, even deeper than the mate bond. This wasn't just rejection from my fated mate. This was rejection from my entire world. I forced myself to stand, even though my legs felt like water. Even though every breath hurt. The mate bond was still there, a ragged, bleeding wound in my chest, not quite severed but dying slowly. Marcus and Sophia stood together at the altar now. He'd already moved on. Already chosen his replacement. How long had they been planning this? How long had I been the fool? I looked at Marcus one last time. Did you ever love me? For just a second, one brief, painful second, something flickered in his eyes. Regret? Guilt? But then it was gone, replaced by that cold, alpha indifference. For just a second, one brief, painful second, something flickered in his eyes. Regret? Guilt? But then it was gone, replaced by that cold, alpha indifference. No, he said simply. I loved what you represented. The tradition of fated mates. But love isn't enough, Elias. Power is what matters. And you have none. The words hit harder than any physical blow could have. I turned and ran. Behind me, I heard someone say, let him go. He'll get over it. But I knew the truth. Omegas didn't get over fated mate rejection. The bond might be broken, but the connection was still there, festering like an infected wound. It would kill me. Slowly, agonizingly, it would drain the life out of me until there was nothing left. I ran past the pack members, past the decorated hall, past the life I thought I'd have. I ran until I crossed the pack borders, and the moment my feet hit neutral territory, the last thread of the mate bond dissolved. I screamed. The sound was inhuman, more animal than man. My wolf, my weak, pathetic wolf, howled inside me, confused and dying. I collapsed in the forest just beyond the border. My body was shutting down. Rejection sickness was already setting in. I could feel it, the fever, the weakness, the way my heart was beating too slow. I was going to die out here. Alone. Rejected. Unloved. Maybe that was better than going back. I lay there for hours. Maybe days. Time stopped meaning anything. The pain in my chest never faded. If anything, it got worse. Sharper. Like broken glass grinding inside me with every breath. Memories played behind my closed eyelids. Marcus and me as children, playing in the woods. Him teaching me to fish. Him holding me when I cried after bullies made fun of my small wolf. Him kissing me for the first time under the full moon, whispering, "You're mine, Elias." Always. All lies. Every moment had been a lie. I opened my eyes. It was dark now. I was so cold. I couldn't feel my fingers anymore. This was it. This was how I died. But then, I heard footsteps. Someone was walking through the forest, humming an old tune. I tried to call out, but my voice wouldn't work. The footsteps got closer. My, a voice said. Old. Female. What do we have here? I managed to turn my head. Through blurred vision, I saw an old woman standing above me. She was tiny, hunched with age, her face deeply wrinkled. But her eyes her. Rejection sickness, she murmured, crouching beside me. And a bad case of it. You're dying, little Omega. I tried to speak. Gee, good. She laughed, but it wasn't unkind. Giving up already? That doesn't seem fair. You haven't even tried to fight back. Can't, I whispered. Too weak. Ah. She tilted her head, studying me with those strange silver eyes. That's what they told you, isn't it? That you're weak. That you're not enough. That you deserve this. Tears leaked from my eyes. It's true. No, she said firmly. It's not. But if you believe it, it will become true. The question is, do you want to die here? Or do you want to make them regret every word they said about you? Something stirred in my chest. Not the mate bond, that was dead. This was something else. Something darker. Angrier. How? I managed to ask. The old woman smiled, and suddenly she didn't look quite so frail. I can show you. But it won't be easy. It will hurt worse than the rejection. It might kill you. And if you survive, you'll never be the same. I thought about Marcus standing at that altar. Sophia holding his hand. My parents looking away. The pack laughing. I don't want to be the same, I gasped out. The woman's smile widened. Good answer, little Omega. Or should I say future Alpha? She pressed her hand to my chest, right over the shattered mate bond, and everything went black. But before I lost consciousness completely, I heard her whisper. Let's see what you're really made of, Elias Carter. Eyes glowed silver in the darkness.
I woke up screaming. Every nerve in my body was on fire. It felt like acid in my veins, burning me from the inside out. You're awake, the old woman's voice said. Right on schedule. I couldn't move. I was lying on cold stone in the center of a massive circle covered in strange symbols that made my skin crawl. My wolf whimpered inside me. Where am I? I croaked. Somewhere safe. Somewhere your kind forgot about centuries ago. She walked around the circle, her bare feet silent on stone. I'm Morrigan, a keeper of the old ways. And I'm going to save your life by transforming you. What did you do to me? Nothing yet. Right now, your body is still dying from rejection. You have maybe 2 days left. She crouched beside me. But I sense something interesting about you. Your wolf has been suppressed. Caged. Bound by magic since birth. Someone made sure you would never be strong. That's impossible. I gasped through pain. Is it? Did your parents ever seem afraid of you? Even when you were a child? Memories flickered. My mother's face when I was 5 and accidentally broke a stone statue. My father's harsh punishments whenever I showed anger. The way they seemed relieved when I presented as Omega. They did something to me, I whispered. They bound your true nature. I can feel the spell. Someone powerful did this when you were very young. She picked up a curved black knife. I'm going to break that binding. Then I'm going to kill your Omega wolf and rebuild you as an alpha. That's insane. You can't change someone's presentation. It was done once before. 200 years ago. The Omega went mad from the pain and had to be put down. But that's a risk we'll take. I stared at her. You're serious? I need your consent. The ritual takes 3 days. 3 days of agony. Your Omega wolf will fight back. You might lose your mind. And if your body rejects the transformation, you'll die screaming. She looked at me with ancient silver eyes. But if you survive, Marcus Stormwood will realize exactly what he threw away. I thought about Marcus at that altar. Sophia holding his hand. The pack laughing. Do it, I said. I won't die as the weak Omega they think I am. Morrigan smiled. Then let us begin. She started chanting in a strange language. The symbols on the floor glowed brighter and brighter. Then she pressed the knife to my chest and began to cut. I screamed. The pain was beyond anything I could describe. She wasn't cutting flesh. She was cutting something deeper. Something essential. Day 1, Morrigan's voice echoed. Breaking the bindings. Images flooded my mind. Being 2 years old, lifting my father in rage. My mother's terrified face. A man in dark robes chanting, pressing his hands to my chest while I screamed. The feeling of something vital being locked away. They broke me. My own parents broke me because they were afraid. The bindings shattered. I felt it like chains breaking inside my chest. Something vast and powerful surged up, something that had been sleeping for 16 years. My real wolf roared to life. But it was dying too. The rejection sickness was killing it. "Don't leave me," I whispered to my wolf. "Please." But it flickered and went silent. Dead. The emptiness that followed was worse than any pain. "Day 1 complete," Morrigan said. "Rest now." Day 2 was worse. I woke to grinding pain, like my bones were being crushed from the inside. "The void," Morrigan announced. I felt nothing. The mate bond was completely gone. My Omega instincts were silent. I was hollow. Neither Omega nor Alpha. Just emptiness. Hallucinations started. Marcus appeared, looking down with disgust. "You're nothing, Elias. You've always been nothing." Sophia crying. "Why couldn't you just accept it?" My parents shaking their heads. "We saved the pack from you." "Don't listen," Morrigan's voice cut through. "They're not real. They're your fears." But another voice, my voice, deeper and stronger, spoke. "They were afraid. Not because you were weak, but because you were strong." The hallucinations shattered. In their place, I saw a vision. A massive silver wolf on a mountain peak, eyes glowing ice blue, power radiating like heat. All other wolves bowing before it. A prime alpha. Is that what I am? I breathed. "Sleep," Morrigan said. Day 3 awaits. Day 3 started with fire. Actual fire racing through my veins. Every cell was being remade, restructured, rebuilt. My bones lengthened. My muscles tore and reformed. My senses exploded. Then my wolf came back. But not the small Omega wolf. This was something vast and powerful and terrifying. It roared to life, claiming space. "We are Alpha," it growled. Before I could control it, I shifted. The transformation hurt. But when it was done, I stood on 4 legs. The stone cracked beneath my paws. I looked down at brilliant silver-white fur that glowed. "Magnificent," Morrigan breathed, actually stepping back in awe. I forced myself to shift back. I collapsed, but I was different. Taller, broader, stronger. "What did you do to me?" "I removed what was blocking you," she said, studying my face. "This is what you were always meant to be." I walked to a stream outside and saw my reflection. Same features, but stronger. My jaw was more defined. My eyes glowed ice blue. I looked dangerous. What am I? A prime alpha, Elias. The first one born in 50 years. Your parents knew and bound you because you would be too powerful to control. Prime alpha, I repeated. You can command other alphas. You're stronger, faster, more dominant than any regular alpha. But having power and knowing how to use it are different things. You need training. How long? 5 years. 5 years while Marcus lived with Sophia. But I needed the time. "Teach me everything," I said. Morrigan smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." 5 years later, I stood outside Silver Moon territory, an invitation to their 5-year prosperity celebration in my hand. "You don't have to do this," Morrigan said. But I did. I needed Marcus to see what he'd thrown away. Not for validation. For closure. "I'm ready," I said. I climbed into the car. Dash, my beta, drove. As we approached the pack lands, my heart pounded. Would I feel the phantom bond more strongly? We parked near the entrance. The moment I stepped out, conversation stopped. Heads turned. Wolves stared, sensing my power, even if they didn't understand it. I walked toward the hall with confidence. I was no longer the broken boy who'd run from this place. A young Omega stopped me. "Name, please." "Elias Carter." His eyes widened. His tablet nearly fell. "Elias? But you're dead?" "No, just better." I walked inside. The hall was transformed. Ice sculptures, crystal chandeliers, expensive everything. At least 100 wolves filled the space. And there, at the far end on a raised platform, sat Marcus and Sophia. They looked like royalty. Perfect together. Everything a matched pair should be. I felt nothing looking at them. Then Marcus looked up. Our eyes met. Everything stopped. I watched the color drain from his face. Watched his body go rigid. Watched his hand crack the wood of his throne. He could feel it. The power radiating from me. A prime alpha. Beside him, Sophia's champagne glass slipped and shattered. Everyone had noticed me now. The whispers grew louder. "Is that Elias Carter? He's an alpha now." "How?" I walked forward slowly. Wolves parted before me. Even alphas stepped aside instinctively. I stopped at the base of the platform and looked up at Marcus. "Hello, Marcus," I said. "Thank you for the invitation." Marcus stood, his movements jerky and uncoordinated. "Elias? How is this possible?" "Hello, Marcus," I said calmly. "Surprised?" "You're supposed to be," he cut himself off. Dead. I finished. Yes, I imagine you thought so. But then, I was never really Omega, was I? Confusion flickered across his face. Behind him, my parents emerged from the crowd. My mother gasped. My father went pale. They knew exactly what they were seeing. What happened to you? Sophia whispered, standing. You're different. 5 years of transformation tends to do that. I turned to address the crowd. Every wolf was watching. I'm sure you're wondering how an Omega became an Alpha. The short version, I was never Omega at all. I was bound, suppressed, made weak by people who were afraid of what I'd become. I looked at my parents. Isn't that right? My mother's hand flew to her mouth. My father tried to maintain composure, but fear was clear in his eyes. You bound your own son, I continued. A prime alpha, locked away and crippled because you were too afraid. Tell me, did Marcus know what you were really rejecting? The hall erupted in shocked whispers. The pack elder stepped forward. If you are truly prime alpha, this is unprecedented. I am, I said, letting my power flare slightly. Every alpha in the room took an involuntary step back. Weaker ones lowered their heads in submission. Omegas and betas had already dropped to their knees. Only Marcus remained standing, but his wolf was fighting him, demanding he submit. Stop, Marcus commanded with his alpha voice. You don't come into my territory, Yen. Your territory? I raised an eyebrow. Under ancient law, a prime alpha has the right to challenge for leadership. But I won't. Do you know why? Fear flashed across his face. Because you're not worth it, I said simply. I already have something better. I've spent 5 years building Frostborn Pack. We take in wolves that places like this throw away. And we've built something stronger than blind tradition. Several Silvermoon wolves were listening intently now. If anyone here is tired of being told their worth is determined by their presentation, Frostborn's borders are open. You can't recruit my pack members. Marcus roared, his power flaring. I let my own power rise to meet his. The pressure filled the hall. Wolves gasped. Marcus stumbled backward, his face white. His alpha power crumpled before mine. I climbed the steps slowly until I stood directly in front of him. Do you feel it, Marcus? The mate bond? It's still there, isn't it? His eyes widened. His breath caught. I felt it too, I admitted quietly. For 5 years. But fated bonds aren't the only kind that matter. Chosen bonds, built on respect and trust, those are stronger. Elias, Marcus whispered desperately. I was wrong. About everything. You were never weak, I was terrified of what loving you meant. And now? I interrupted. Now that you see what I've become? How convenient. His hand reached for mine. I stepped back. Please. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but the bond is dead, Marcus. You killed it 5 years ago when you rejected me in front of everyone. There has to be something I can do. There isn't. You made your choice. Now live with it. I turned to leave, but Sophia spoke. I'm sorry, Elias. I loved him, and I thought if I just took what I wanted, it would be okay. But it wasn't. Nothing has been okay. I looked at my sister. 5 years ago, I would have hated her. Now I just felt tired. You took something that wasn't yours, I said. You watched me break and did nothing. You're my sister. You were supposed to protect me. She broke down sobbing. Marcus's broken voice stopped me at the door. I love you. I've always loved you. I know I don't deserve to say it, but... I stopped. Didn't turn around. You rejected me, Marcus. You told me I wasn't good enough. You can't unring that bell, just because you're scared of who I became. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. And your choice is? His voice was barely audible. I looked at him one last time. To never think about you again. I walked out. Outside, a group of wolves approached. A young Omega stepped forward. Alpha Carter? I want to join Frostborn. I'm tired of being treated like nothing. Behind him, others nodded. A beta. 2 younger alphas. An older Omega. Are you sure? I asked seriously. There's no going back. There's nothing here to go back to, he said firmly. I looked at each of them, seeing hope in their eyes. Then come. Welcome to Frostborn Pack. As we pulled away, I looked back. Marcus stood in the doorway, watching me leave. His face was devastated. I felt nothing. The boy who loved Marcus Stormwood died 5 years ago. I was someone new now. And I was finally free. 3 months had passed since I walked out of Silvermoon territory. Another gift arrived, Dash said, dropping a box on my desk. 5th one this week. I didn't look up from the territorial maps. Frostborn Pack had grown significantly. 23 wolves had left Silvermoon to join us. Burn it, I said. Dash opened it anyway. Inside was a silver bracelet and a note in Marcus's handwriting. This belonged to my grandmother. It was always meant to be yours. Please, Elias. Just talk to me. He's been sending these constantly, Dash observed. You should know, Silver Moon Pack is falling apart. That made me look up. What? Marcus is barely functioning. Missing meetings, making poor decisions. And Sophia left him 2 weeks ago. Sophia left? Walked out in the middle of the night. She couldn't handle being his consolation prize. Dash looked at me carefully. And Marcus is deteriorating. Some say he's going feral. The mate bond is driving him insane. That's not my problem, I said, but my voice was less steady than I wanted. He rejected who he thought you were, not who you actually are, Dash said carefully. I'm not defending him, but you need to deal with this. Either reject him officially and sever the bond completely, or open that door. This in-between is destroying both of you. I wanted to argue, but he was right. The phantom bond ached constantly. That night, I dreamed of Marcus. We were teenagers by the river. I'm going to be alpha someday, teenage Marcus said. And you're going to be beside me. I choose you, Elias. I'll always choose you. He kissed me, full of promises. Promises he broke. I woke with my heart racing and the bond aching. My wolf was restless. Mate hurts. Mate needs us. He's not our mate, I said to the empty room. He rejected us. I went for a run, trying to outrun these feelings. But when I stopped, exhausted, I found myself at the border between our territories. And I smelled him. Marcus. He was sitting on a fallen log, 50 yards into Frostborn territory. He looked terrible, rumpled clothes, unshaven, hollow eyes. His alpha presence was dim and flickering. You're trespassing, I said coldly. Marcus looked up with desperate hope. I know. I've been coming here every night for a week. Waiting. Hoping you'd show up. Why? Because you won't answer my calls. Won't read my letters. He stood slowly. Because I need to talk to you. Please. Every instinct screamed to walk away. But I was tired. 5 minutes, I said. Relief flooded his face. I don't know where to start. Nothing will undo what I did. Then why are you here? Because I'm dying. The mate bond is killing me. My wolf won't accept anyone else. It's clawing me apart trying to get to you. That's not my problem. I know. This is my punishment, and I deserve it. But Elias, I need you to understand. I didn't reject you because I didn't love you. I rejected you because I was a coward. Explain. I was 18, about to become alpha. Everyone expected me to mate someone strong. Then the bond snapped with you. Sweet, gentle Omega Elias who could barely shift. He laughed bitterly. Your own parents came to me. They told me you'd been bound, that you'd always be weak, that I'd be doing you a favor by setting you free. My blood ran cold. My parents told you to reject me? They said you'd find someone better suited. And like an idiot, I believed them. I thought I was doing the right thing. And Sophia? Pain flashed across his face. Sophia came after the bond formed. She told me she'd loved me for years. That she was stronger, more suitable. When I rejected you, she was there. It was easy to let her in. Easy to pretend I hadn't destroyed the person I loved most. Did you love her? No. I cared about her. But love? No. She was convenient. He dropped to his knees, crying. I thought you were dead. I felt the bond breaking. Felt you dying for 3 days, then nothing. I thought I'd killed you, and I wanted to die too. I should have felt satisfaction. But I just felt tired. Get up, Marcus. He looked up with swollen eyes. I don't deserve forgiveness. But please. The bond is still there. We could. What? Try again? Pretend 5 years didn't happen. I don't know. I just know I can't live without you. My wolf can't take it. I'm losing my mind. Stop making me responsible for your pain, I said sharply. You did this. You chose status over love. And now that I'm powerful, you want me back? That's not love. That's regret. You're right. But it doesn't change that you're my fated mate. I crouched down. Your wolf can want whatever it wants. But I don't need you. I built a life without you. And I'm not giving that up because you decided you made a mistake. Then what do? The same thing I did. You survive. You rebuild. You become someone new. I stood to leave. I've been having dreams, Marcus whispered. Every night. Of all the promises I made you. And I wake up hating myself because I broke every one. I closed my eyes. I'd been having the same dreams. The bond is trying to heal itself, I said quietly. Is that possible? I don't know. But even if it is, Marcus, I don't know if I can forgive you. I understand. I just need you to know everything I did was wrong. You were never weak. I was. Go home, Marcus. Take care of your pack. And let me go. I can't. You have to. I shifted and ran before he could respond. But I could feel him through the bond. Feel his anguish. And it hurt. When I got back, Dash was waiting. You saw him. He was on our territory. And nothing. It's over. Listen, Dash said seriously. Either close that door completely, reject him officially and sever the bond, or open it. But this limbo is destroying both of you. How do I sever it completely? I called Morrigan. She arrived 3 hours later. You need to tell me about fated mate bonds, I said. Everything. She sat down. When Marcus rejected you, he damaged the bond. But you never rejected him back. That's why you both still feel it. It keeps trying to heal but can't. How do I sever it completely? Official rejection. Stand before him, state it clearly, mean it completely. It will hurt worse than the first time, but it will be final. And if I don't, you'll both suffer forever. The bond will keep reaching and failing until one of you dies. That's terrible design. She smiled slightly. There is a third option. Forgiveness. True forgiveness. If you can genuinely let go of the pain, the bond might heal. Not immediately, but over time. I don't know if I can forgive him. Then don't. Not yet. But you could give yourself the chance to find out. Set conditions. Make him prove he's changed. She stood. Or sever it and move on. Both are valid. But you need to choose. After she left, I sat alone for a long time. Thinking. Feeling. Finally, I made my choice. I called Marcus. He answered immediately. Elias. Meet me at the border. Tonight. Midnight. Come alone. I'll be there. Thank you. I hung up. Midnight. The moon was full overhead. My heart pounded, but my hands were steady. Marcus appeared exactly on time, looking terrible but alert. You came, he breathed. I have something to say. Listen without interrupting. He nodded. What you did was unforgivable. You destroyed me. And for 5 years, I've carried that pain. I took a breath. But holding on to hate is exhausting. And sometimes the person who hurt you was hurting too. His eyes widened. I'm not excusing you. You were wrong. But I understand you were 18, pressured by everyone, lied to by my own parents. I paused. I don't want to hate you anymore. I'm tired of it. Hope flickered in his face. So here's what's going to happen. I'm not forgiving you. Not yet. But I'm willing to give you a chance to earn forgiveness. To prove you've changed. Anything, he breathed. It won't be easy. I have conditions. And if you break them, I will sever this bond permanently. I understand. First, you stay alpha of Silver Moon. Honor your responsibilities. If you can't be a good alpha, you don't deserve to try being a good mate. Agreed. Second, we go slow. We rebuild trust from the ground up. No expectations. Okay. Third, you get therapy. Work on your fear, your cowardice, your inability to stand up for what you want. He nodded, tears streaming. I will. I promise. Fourth, understand this. I'm a prime alpha with my own pack and life. I don't need you. If we do this, it's because I choose to. I understand. You're not that boy, and I'm grateful you survived. We stood in the moonlight, separated by 5 years of pain, connected by a bond that refused to die. Can I hug you? Marcus asked carefully. Please. Every instinct said no. But I was tired of being afraid. Okay. Marcus closed the distance slowly. When his arms wrapped around me, the phantom bond flared to life. Not painful, warm. Right. His body shook with sobs. I'm sorry. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I didn't say I forgave him. Not yet. But I hugged him back. And for the first time in 5 years, the ache eased. We have a long way to go, I said. I know. You might not succeed. I know. But I'm willing to try. Marcus pulled back to look at my face. His eyes were red but full of hope. I'll prove to you I've changed. That I'm worthy of a second chance. Then prove it, I said simply. 6 months later. Marcus kept his promises. He reformed Silver Moon's hierarchy. Gave omegas and betas more say. Judged wolves by character. He went to therapy every week. Worked on his fears and people-pleasing. We met once a week. Just talking. Slowly rebuilding something like friendship. He never pushed. Never demanded. And slowly, I started to forgive him. The phantom bond grew stronger. Not painful, comforting. I wasn't ready to complete the bond. But I was ready to admit that maybe, someday, I could be. And that was enough. 1 year later. Are you sure about this? Dash asked as I adjusted my collar. No. But I want to try. Tonight was our first real date. Not a meeting, a romantic date. My hands were shaking. A knock on the door. Marcus stood there in an elegant suit, holding night-blooming jasmine, my favorite. Hi. You look amazing. So do you. We stared at each other. The bond thrummed with possibility. With hope. Ready? Marcus asked, offering his hand. I looked at that hand, the same one that had caused so much pain, but also the hand that had worked so hard to change. I took it. Ready. As we walked into the night, the mate bond sang between us. Not complete. Not perfect. Still scarred. But alive. And that was more than enough. 2 years later, the mating ceremony was small. Intimate. Just our merged pack, moonborn pack, gathered on neutral ground. Marcus appeared at the end of the aisle in silver and black robes. His eyes found mine, full of love. When he reached me, he took my hands. I, Marcus Stormwood, accept you, Elias Carter, as my fated mate. I vow to protect you, cherish you, and stand by your side. I will never let fear or pride come between us again. You are my mate, my partner, my equal. Tears pricked my eyes. I, Elias Carter, accept you, Marcus Stormwood, as my fated mate. I vow to trust you, forgive you, and build a future with you. You hurt me, but you showed me people can change. You are my mate, my partner, my equal. And I choose you. The mate bond flared to life. Complete. Perfect. Whole. Marcus kissed me as everyone cheered. Everything clicked into place. I love you, Marcus whispered. I love you too, I whispered back. And this time, it was completely true. We'd been through hell. We'd both died and been reborn. We'd lost each other and found each other again. But we'd made it. Together. Finally.